Welcome to the UPuck podcast, where we dive into everything U Sports men's and women's hockey. I'm your host, Ryan DeJani, and today we're going to give you an introduction to U Sports, break down the teams, and get you up to speed on what's happening in the 2024-2025 season. What is U Sports? Let's start with the basics. U Sports is essentially Canada's version of the NCAA, the governing body for university sports in Canada, and plays a crucial role in developing hockey talent. While it may not be as well known as its American counterpart, U Sports has produced some impressive players. For instance, the Edmonton Oilers recently signed goaltender Connor Unger straight out of U Sports. He played for the Brock Badgers of the OUA last season. On the women's side, we're receiving even more success stories. Players like Riley McKinnon, Emmy Facto, and others have all made the jump from U Sports to the Professional Women's Hockey League. Conference breakdown. Now let's break down the structure of U Sports hockey. Both men's and women's teams are divided into four conferences: Canada West Universities Athletics Association, or the CW; Ontario University Athletics, or the OUA; Atlantic University Sports AUS; and the Réseau du Sport Étudiant de Québec, or the RESQ. Each conference has its own set of teams and divisions. For example, in the Canada West Conference, you've got powerhouses like the UBC Thunderbirds and the Alberta Golden Bears. In the OUA, you have teams like the University of Toronto Varsity Blues and the Waterloo Warriors. In the AUS, you have teams such as the University of New Brunswick Reds and the St. Francis Xavier X-Men or X-Women. In the REXQ, you have teams such as the Concordia Stingers and the University of de Montréal Carabin. Playoff structure. U Sports hockey features a unique and thrilling playoff system that culminates in the national championship. Here's a breakdown of how it works. For conference playoffs, aka for the Canada West, Ontario University Athletics, and Atlantic University Sport, they all have their own playoff structure. For the Canada West, the top 6 teams qualify. The first and second place teams get byes. Quarterfinals and semifinals are best of 3 series, and the final is also best of 3. Ontario University Athletics. Top 7 teams in the OUA West and top 6 of teams in the OUA East qualify. Top 2 teams in each division each get byes. A play-in game between the 6th and 7th teams in the OUS is played to determine who advances to the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals and semifinals are best of 3, and finals a single game for the Queen's Cup men and for the McCaw Cup for the women. In the Atlantic University Sport, the top 6 teams qualify, and the first and second place teams get byes, and all rounds are best of 3 series. For the RESQ, this differs based on division and based on gender, and this is not as publicly well known. But in previous years, the RESQ Collegial Masculin Division 1 Hockey League, they used a multi-stage playoff structure. In the first round, it's a best of 3 series between positions 5 to 11. Quarterfinals, best of 5 series. Semifinals, best of 5 series. And finals was also a best of 5 series. The top 4 teams in the regular season standings receive a bye for the first round. On the women's side, while the exact current format is not specified, historic playoff structures for this league have included semifinals and finals typically played in a single game elimination format, and in some years a best of 3 series for the championship final. Now moving on to the national championship. The U Sports National Championship, also known as the University Cup, brings together the best teams from across Canada. 8 teams qualify, 3 conference champions, the host team, and 4 assigned berths. Single elimination tournament over 4 days. The quarterfinals, semifinals, bronze medal, and gold medal games are what is played. The seeding: the 3 conference champions seed 1 to 3, OUA finalists seed 4. Remaining seeds are the AUS finalist, Canada West finalist, OUA third place, and host team. This format ensures that every game in the national championship is high stakes, creating an incredibly intense and exciting atmosphere for players and fans alike. Why this matters: the playoff structure in U Sports hockey is designed to create maximum excitement and competitiveness. Here's why it's so special. Conference pride. The conference playoffs allowed for intense regional rivalries to play out. The second chances: the structure allows for teams that didn't win their conference to still have a shot at the national title. Cinderella story is a single game elimination format of the national championship, means that any team can get hot at the right time and make a run for the title. High stakes: every game in the national championship tournament could end in a team season, leading to incredibly intense and passionate play. Finally, diverse competition: teams from across Canada come together, showcasing different playing styles and strategies. Now let's talk about some recent standouts. In the first example of this comes in U Sports women's hockey. The Waterloo Warriors last season made history by winning their first ever McCaw Cup championship, or the OUA Conference Championship. Their goalie Michaela Schnar was absolutely lights out with a .973 save percentage in the playoffs. Over in the Canada West, the UBC Thunderbirds dominated, winning both the conference and national championships. Mackenzie Kordick was unstoppable, leading the conference in goals and points. Current rankings. As of today, January 6, 2025, here are the top 5 rankings for both men's and women's hockey in U Sports. In women's hockey, Concordia is first with a record of 11-0. UBC is second with a record of 13-3. Nipissing is third with a record of 11-1. Mount Royal University is in fourth with a record of 11-5, and Alberta is in fifth with a record of 12-4. Now, going into men's hockey, the University of New Brunswick is first with a record of 16-2. Concordia is second with also with a record of 16-2. UBC is third with a record of 10-6. Queens is in fourth with a record of 15-3, and Alberta is in fifth with a record of 13-3. Now, upcoming games to watch. Mark your calendars. You've got some exciting matchups going on. Today, January 6th, UBC Thunderbirds versus Alberta Golden Bears in men's hockey. This is going to be a battle between two Canada West giants. Tomorrow, January 7th, Concordia Stingers versus McGill Redbirds in women's hockey. This rivalry game could shake up the playoff structure. And on January 12th, Waterloo Warriors versus Guelph Griffins in women's hockey. These are both teams that are fighting for a position in the OUA. And finally, January 13th, the University of New Brunswick Reds versus the St. Francis Xavier X-Men in men's hockey. The AUS showdown could have major implications for playoff seeding. This is all for today's episode of the U Puck podcast. Remember, U Sports hockey is some of the most exciting competitive hockey you'll find anywhere. It's where academic excellence meets athletic prowess and is producing some of the stars of tomorrow. Next episode, we'll be diving deeper into some of the standout players to watch this season. Till then, get out there and support your local university teams. Follow U Sports hockey channels for all the latest updates, and we'll catch you next time on the U Puck podcast.